Alright, so we now have the Barefaced Guitar Cab. This is the reformer with the vintage 38 ohm. Finally got this, so we'll test this with the EB cab that I usually use. The EB cab is a 112 loaded with a vintage 30 8 ohm as well. Although keep in mind that the EB cab, the vintage 30 on that, since I've been using it a lot, you could probably say that it's more broken in, because I don't know, I have no idea if there's any break-in process that's been done to the Barefaced, if any at all, or if there is, how much, I don't know. But I guess what we'll be looking here is the sound difference, the sound dispersion difference. Now, as I mentioned before in my previous video, I'm going to use the Deeflexx sound deflector. I'm going to use them in conjunction with the Barefaced cab and its AVD feature at the back of it. I'll be testing the Deeflexx with the Barefaced and also with the EB cab. I'll just play some basic riffs, and this is the microphone right here. This is on a stand. See, it's connected wirelessly, and I'll be moving this around the room. Different angles, listening angles, depending on where you'll be on stage. So it'll give you a pretty good representation. And I'll just play some riffs. I'll be disconnecting and connecting the amp. I'll pretty much be indicating to you which cab I'm going to be using. Okay, if I said amp when I'm supposed to say cab, you probably know my mistake there and you can figure it out. Alright, we will start with the EB cab. This one is on about roughly gigging volume or rehearsing volumes. I would probably turn this up a bit louder, but it's a bit loud in here. So we'll go ahead and just play. I'll put the microphone in this position here. It would probably be around where the drummer is. And now I'll put it on top of the couch, pretty much on the line of sight of the camera. It's practically next to the camera, and it's on the same eye line. Alright, so I'll do all of that. Same miking positions, but with the Deeflexx. Alright, so that's pretty much the overview for this. I really only got this cab probably today, and I unboxed it and tested it out, had the first impressions, and then straight to the comparison. Now what I found was, sitting in the room and with all the equipment, what I heard was the Barefaced Cab has a bigger sound, probably I could say, probably dare say like a 2x12. The heft of a sound of a 2x12 is there. The AB cab, or the conventional 112, sounds like it might be maybe a little bit on the brighter side. Maybe it's because it doesn't have as much bass, so it doesn't balance it out, if you know what I mean. Because the Reformer has more bass, it kind of balances out. It sounds like there's less treble, maybe when not really. I should also mention that the sound of the comparison when you're in the room versus when you're listening through the video is quite different. Now I apologize if it ended up not being a true representation of hearing it with your own ears and being in the room. It seems to be almost like the opposite. I think it's because of the mic that I was using. I'm pretty much just using a one of these, the Rode Video Micro, and this has one of those background cancelling or filtering, whatever it is. Mostly picks up from the front. What happens is, because the Barefaced Cab gives out the sound more throughout the room, it does fill the room a bit more than the conventional cab. But because of the background cancelling of the Rode, it kind of takes out half of the. I don't know how the science is, or the physics is of sound and how that is, but I suspect that that's something that affects it. Okay, so maybe I should have used like a condenser, omnidirectional mic, or whatever it is that can capture the whole room. That would probably make a better representation of the video. Sorry, of the cabinet, of how it is in real life. No, I don't know, but hopefully you understand that. I'm sure you do. But the bass doesn't really come across that well. I'm sitting here editing the video, and I can hear that it doesn't quite have that heft that I observed from when I was playing. It's because probably of the background noise cancellation effect that does it, I suspect. But again, I do think the Barefaced Cab seems to fill the room, and especially if you use the Deeflexx, disperses the sound from the front, and that in conjunction with the sound spreading out from the back through the AVD opening, it has a nice synergistic effect. That's what I hear anyway. I'm looking forward to try that in a live situation. They really have both vintage 30s, although again, as I mentioned it before, they may have a different level of being broken in. Now, if let's say they have a similar sound, is it going to be affected by the additional bass or low end of the AVD on the back of the Reformer? From where I am, it does sound heftier, as I said. About the toe licks, by the way, only time will tell probably. Who knows what's gonna happen when the time comes, or it's a bit of a tangent, but anyway, hopefully that'll be fine, fingers crossed. And I'm looking forward also to playing this cab in the next show. We have a few shows lined up in the next few months. Now the gear that I was using is just using my usual or half usual PRS Custom 22 with the 5815 standard pickups, not the low tune or anything like that, low wind that PRS also has. It goes onto my pedal board, Now, the distortion that I was mainly using is the Rev G3. The Rev G3 goes pretty much straight to the amp. It goes to the orange pedal baby, as you could see in the video, and then straight into the cab. Now the Barefaced cab does have a low cut filter, which I left off because I like it like that. I like the sound the way it is with all the low end there. But we'll see how it goes in the show. Maybe if the low end goes, it's too rumbly or it's too boomy, then I can try that. But this one is just more of a first look. We'll see what happens in rehearsal. We'll see what happens in the show. Anyway, if you stayed this long, thank you for watching. Hope you liked the video. And if you like the video, hopefully click that like button. But if you dislike it, the dislike button is there for you to double click. But thank you for coming this far. Now subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.